Something interesting has changed recently, and it's already affecting how people choose who to contact. Hi, I'm Christine, and I'm a business consultant with a very strong tech background. If someone searches for something like painter Christchurch, Google is now showing a filter called online estimates. This means customers can now choose to see only businesses that provide pricing guidance front. So instead of ringing 3 or 4 businesses to ask roughly how much, they're starting with the ones who already give them an answer online. If you don't provide that, you may not even get the chance to quote. Now, think about how most businesses handle quotes. You spend time visiting, measuring, pricing, sending quotes, and you might win 1 in 5. That is a lot of unpaid work. At the same time, the customer just wants a ballpark figure before they even decide whether to talk to you. So there's a gap here. Customers want faster answers, and businesses want fewer tire kickers. That is where my tools come in. I want to show you a real example. This is a painting business in Christchurch called Queen of the Brush. This beautiful website was built by Serena. But what I built for them is a simple online estimate tool. The customer answers a few questions, things like room size, surfaces, and condition. Then they get an instant estimate. What that does is filter inquiries. Instead of just looking, you start getting people who already understand the price range. That alone improved the quality of leads significantly. Fewer wasted site visits, better conversations, and more jobs from the same number of inquiries. That first version worked okay. It gave people a rough idea of the price, and it filtered out a lot of the time wasters. But there was still a gap. People would get a number and still have questions. They would still wonder what was included, what might change the price, and whether it was worth moving forward. So the next step was not just giving a number. It was helping them to understand it. The new version still starts the same way. The customer answers a short set of questions. But instead of just showing a price on screen, the system does something smarter. It uses AI trained on a customized knowledge base for that specific business. The knowledge base includes things like how that business prices jobs, what they include and exclude, common mistakes customers make, and how to explain options clearly. Then it generates a personalized report, not just a number, an actual explanation. The customer receives an email that may include a realistic price range, factors that affect the price, what to watch out for, and recommended next steps. So instead of just sending a price, the system sends a proper explanation. It feels more like a helpful response than a quote. And what that means for the business is that when someone does get in touch, they're already partway through the decision. They're not starting from zero. They already understand the price range, and they're much more likely to be serious. And the nice part is, once it's set up, it just runs in the background. That solves a few big problems at once. First, it reduces the time spent quoting jobs that were never going ahead. Second, it positions the business as helpful and transparent. Third, it matches where Google is heading. Google is starting to favor businesses that give useful information up front. So instead of competing on who replies fastest, you are competing on who is most helpful first. And that's a much better place to be. And it can be put in place quite quickly without turning it into a big project. In addition, it can optionally add people to an email mailing list. If you don't use email marketing, have a talk with Corey who can get you sorted. It can work on any WordPress website and will eventually be available for other types of websites. Serena can build a WordPress website if that's what you need. So, who do you know? What I'm looking for are introductions to businesses where quoting is a big part of how they win work. So think about people like builders, painters, electricians, plumbers, landscapers, architects, anyone doing renovations or project-based work, even service businesses like marketing agencies or consultants who prepare proposals. If you're spending a lot of time quoting and only winning a portion of those jobs, this is a very easy conversation to have. From a pricing point of view, this is designed to be simple and practical. There's a $270 plus GST setup fee, plus $27 plus GST per month, with a minimum of 3 months. So it's not a big, drawn-out project. It's something that can be added to your website, starts working straight away, and begins filtering inquiries from day one. For most businesses, if it helps them win just one better job or avoid a couple of time-wasting quotes, it more than pays for itself. So if you know someone who's flat out quoting, but not winning as much as they should, I would really appreciate an introduction.